2K21, not just next gen, but current gen as well, is struggling. And I'm here to talk about that in a kind of update video. But que pasa to the pack? I am back. It is Pack here.
AKA your mama's best friend.
And oh my gosh. Okay. Rant video for NBA 2K21. I guess specifically on the next generation, but I'm not going to act like current gen is good either. I've always rolled my eyes when people say this game is dying because, bro, 2K is never going to die. As long as there's not another basketball video game out there, 2K will never die, right? And that's why I still kind of believe. I mean, it's still obviously the #1 basketball game out there, and it probably will be until NBA Live either makes a great game or another company comes out of nowhere, right? But there's been a big issue, and that is that now that there's two different games, there's basically two completely different fan bases, and this kind of creates a lot of problem, not with just the community, but everything about the game so far. I mean, next gen version of 2K is like straight up dying. Nobody has a PlayStation or an Xbox next generation, and so all of a sudden there's not a lot of players, there's not a lot of fan base, and the people that would have played it can't afford to get a PlayStation, or they can't find one, right? So they don't have the game, and so we have maybe like a fifth or a fourth of the community on next generation, and everybody else is in current gen. If you look up on YouTube, all the live streamers, or on Twitch, all the live streamers playing 2K, 90% of them, or at least the ones that are getting kind of views, are playing current gen. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is playing next gen right now, except like the bigger YouTubers and like a couple people that have it. The game's dying, and it isn't just the fans and the players that are making this game die. 2K is making the game die as well. They are not supporting the game. We've not had an update for a game that has been out for 2 months now, with a ton of problems in a whole month. Patch 3 released a month ago, and there's still so many problems. I guess they fixed the big ones. The choppiness was terrible. The latency they had was also pretty bad. Sure, there was a couple, and then I guess like the emptiness of the park were problems, and those have been fixed. Fine, 2K, I'll give you that one. You fixed it. But there's still so many. What about games just crashing mid-game, and then all of a sudden you can't load into the next one? What about the stats showing up wrong? My 2K player card says I'm shooting 10% from 3. No, I'm not. There's so many issues, and those are just some of them, by the way. There's still so millions more. That it's crazy. The fact that Park still gives you basically no rep. I know they doubled it, but it's still terrible. Like if you want to grind and become like an elite, you have to play rec only. That's it. Pro-Am has no ranked unless it's like specific times of the week, which is so stupid because Pro-Am was like the funnest part about 2K in my opinion. There is so many issues. There's a reason why nobody's watching next generation Park stuff. Like if I upload any Park anything, it kind of gets no views compared to updates or player stuff or mind league stuff or anything like that. You upload any Park stuff, nobody's watching. Even the bigger YouTubers are kind of struggling in the views department because of this problem. And then again, it is because there's two completely different games, and the popular game nobody's playing right now, so no one's watching it, right? And so think about how uninterested a lot of fans are. That one game is basically outdated, so nobody cares about it, and then the other one nobody has, so nobody cares about it. So now 2K is losing its popularity aggressively, right? And it's not even just that. The people that talk about the game, that popularize the game, that are supposed to be like advocates for the game, so Ronnie, Mike Wang, these kind of marketers, have just not talked about it. They don't give you updates at all. We have spammed Ronnie and Mike Baluba about everything about this game, about how many problems. Mike Wang has not tweeted since late December. He literally hasn't said a word about the game and about its problems. Like he's on vacation or something. Ronnie doesn't even care. Like we are in a spot. Like no, it's like they don't even care about the game right now. Like it is straight dying, and it's bad. And this is the thing, if it's happening now, if this is how it is now, what are they gonna do from now on? What's the game plan? Are you just gonna keep ignoring the games? Like we still have snow in the neighborhood. They still haven't updated it. Like current gen's getting updates before, like they got a New Year's update. While next gen, we still have the snow Christmas themed park, or I guess neighborhood, a city, whatever. What's the game plan? Are you gonna address it? Are you just gonna keep ignoring this until the next game comes out in what, like November? So what, like a whole year we're gonna have this game that's barely being touched or updated? That's terrible. I mean, we're in a really bad spot right now with 2K. And this is the thing, that's my biggest question. Okay, so next year when you release 2K22, are you going to make two versions again with two completely different parks where nobody can play together? So all of a sudden you have to keep separating these player bases where they can't come together? Is that the game plan, 2K? Because if that is the game plan, we're screwed, bro. Because like not only are the fans not gonna be able to enjoy it, and like there's gonna be two completely different metas. Like the play shots in current gen are the big deal, while in next gen it's the power forwards. You know, playing screens is big deal in current gen, while doing fadeaways is a big deal on next gen. Like we have two completely different metas. There's no reason to care for both games, and everybody's more focused on the last previous game. So how are you going to fix this? How are you going to get everybody to be interested in next generation, which to be fair is the one that's going to matter throughout time? How are you going to drag these people? Like if they don't make both games of both generations the same and they keep making two different like games, I don't even know how it's going to work. The player base is just going to drop completely. Less and less people are going to want to play this game. I mean, this is not okay, dude. They haven't even updated the roster for current gen, but they updated the roster for next gen. So not only are they being weird about which games they want to update, they're being inconsistent. Like they haven't showed favoritism to either game. They're being weird about both of them. Like they're ignoring one part of one game but fixing something, but on the current gen they ignore the other part but focus on the other thing. And so it's just like we're constantly being in this loop of we have no clue where we are in 2K. And that's kind of why the player base is just kind of dwindling down. And again, I don't blame 2K that PlayStation and Xbox cannot make enough consoles right now. And obviously it's because of COVID. No one's been able to prepare the way they want to. But let's not act like this isn't fixable, right? You can still update next generation. I don't see why they can't update the game that still has a ton of problems. Like if the game was perfect, obviously I'd be like, I mean, oh well, at least they're trying. But no, they seriously have abandoned the game. And then on top of it all, let's say you don't want to update any of the problems. You could at least add new things to at least get people excited. Yeah, there's events, but what about, there's nothing getting people excited. All the rep stuff is the same as last year. So like, yeah, we've been mascots before. There's nothing exciting people. I think this is the first time someone's about to hit legend and nobody cares. Every time someone's about to hit legend, it's like the biggest deal. Everybody's following this person. That person gets like hundreds of thousands of followers out of nowhere. It's crazy how nobody is caring about this game at all. Like it's just the popularity is dying, and that needs to be addressed. Because if 2K doesn't want people to not play the game anymore and to ignore it and then start to lose money, and then the YouTubers who are making these games are going to be like, we're not getting views, and so we're just going to stop talking about it, and so now the popularity of the game is going to go down. What is 2K going to do? Because this is a bad spot for them. They're not in a good place, and the game is at risk of dying, and I think they need to take it a little more serious and update it. Because what's going on, 2K? Let's go. This is all my opinions. What do you think? Am I wrong about anything? Or do you think that something specifically needs to be done that's obvious? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.